All right, let's dive into a really cool fundamental idea in AI called policy evaluation. Now, I know, it sounds super technical, right? But trust me, it's all about answering a question you probably ask yourself all the time.
So, here's the big question. How does an AI know if its strategy is actually any good? I mean, think about it. You can build an AI to play a game, give it a whole strategy, a complete plan, but how does it know if that plan is a game winner or just totally awful? That's the real challenge.
Because, before an AI can get any better, it has to first judge its current plan. It's kind of like that old saying, you can't improve what you don't measure. And in AI, that is absolutely true. Figuring out how good its current strategy is, that's the foundation. It's the bedrock that all future learning is built on.
Okay, so let's get into it. First up, judging a plan. What does that even mean? How do we actually put a number on a strategy?
All right, first things first, let's clear up a little bit of jargon. In reinforcement learning, an AI strategy is called a policy. That's it. It's just a fancy word for its rule book. If I'm here, I do this. If I see that, I do that. It's the set of rules the AI is currently following.
And that brings us right to policy evaluation. It's literally just the process of calculating how good that specific policy, that rulebook, is. The whole goal is to answer one critical question. If I follow these rules, what kind of score am I going to get in the long run?
Okay, that's the theory. But to really make this stick, let's use an analogy that I think you'll find super helpful. We're going to talk about the daily commute. I promise this is going to make everything just click. So, imagine this. You just moved to a new place, and you're trying to figure out the real travel time for your commute to work. You have a route you take every day. That's your plan. But you know how it is. Traffic, weird stoplights, random construction, you don't actually know the true travel time from every single spot along that route. Your mission is to figure it out. And this is where the analogy lines up perfectly with our AI terms. So, your policy? That's just your chosen route to work. A state? That's any specific intersection or landmark. And here's the most important part, the value. The value of an intersection isn't how long it took to get to it, no. It's the expected time it'll take to get to work from that point. Big difference.
All right, so how good is your route really? How would you actually figure out the travel time from every single intersection? You don't have a crystal ball, right? You got to learn it from experience, just by driving it day in and day out.
Well, the process is actually pretty straightforward. First, you just make a wild guess. Seriously, day one, you might just say, it's probably 15 minutes to work from any of these intersections. Then you actually drive the route. Let's say you time the trip from intersection A to intersection B, and it takes exactly 3 minutes. Okay, now you update your guess for intersection A. Your new, slightly better guess is those 3 minutes you just drove, plus your old guess for how long it takes from intersection B. And then you just repeat. You do this over and over, every single day, for every intersection.
Now, this super intuitive update process we just walked through, it actually has a pretty formal name in reinforcement learning. It's called the Bellman equation. But look, don't let the name intimidate you. At its core, it's exactly what we just did, using one guess to make another guess just a little bit better.
Yeah, that's really all it is. It's just a simple idea. Your new, better estimate is just the immediate travel time plus your old estimate from the next stop. You're basically pulling yourself up by your own bootstraps, using one guess to improve the guess that came right before it.
So that's one tiny update. Now let's zoom out and look at the complete journey. What happens when you do this over and over again? Well, this is where the magic starts to happen.
The name for this whole shebang is iterative policy evaluation, and it's named perfectly, right? You iterate, you repeat the process of evaluating your policy. You start with a totally random guess, and you just keep applying that simple Bellman update rule again and again and again until your estimates for each intersection kind of settle down and stop changing so much. That's when you know you found the real answers.
And look at how this plays out. On day one, your initial guess is just a flat 15 minutes for every intersection. It's totally wrong, of course, but it's a starting point. Fast forward to day 30, after a month of driving and updating, and wow, your estimates are so much better. Intersection A, way at the start of your route, is correctly valued at 28 minutes, while intersection C, right near your office, is down to just 8 minutes. It actually reflects reality now. And that's the whole point. Over time, your kind of terrible first guesses get closer and closer to the true expected travel time from every single point on your route. Through these tiny, repeated updates, you've turned a wild guess into a really accurate map of values for your entire plan. You finally know exactly how good your route is.
So, let's bring this all home. After everything we've talked about, what's the one big question we need to answer? What's the key takeaway?
It's this. Policy evaluation turns a bad guess about a plan's value into a good one through repeated, simple updates. That's it. It's not about finding a better plan. It's about taking the plan you have now and figuring out, for real, what it's worth.
But that, of course, leads to the really exciting question, right? Now that the AI knows exactly how good its current plan is, what's next? How can it find an even better one? Well, once it knows the true value of every single step, it can start to ask, hey, what if I had turned left back there instead of right? Would that have been better? And that, well, that's a topic for another day. That's the start of something called policy improvement.